Hey there, and welcome back to my channel, Weirdly OCD. It has been a little while since I've uploaded. Sorry about that. Life happens, and YouTube just once again took a back seat. But I'm back with part 2 of summertime yard work, even though now we're kind of getting into a bit of the end of summer. It's late July right now, and in my first video, I showed you how I had weed whacked the yard along the driveway, mowed, took down a tree along the house here, trimmed up a couple of the side bushes. Today, we're going to work on the backyard. I'm going to mow it. I'd like to get up on a ladder and clean the gutters. I have gutter guards, thankfully, so it's not going to be as big of a project as it would be without those, but they still need cleaned up. They've got twigs up there from a couple storms, some actually decently sized storms that we've had over the past couple of weeks, and I'd like to do a little bit of weed whacking in the backyard as well, along with showing you some plans that Tony and I have kind of come up with that we'd like to do for our backyard come next spring, early summer. So let's go get working. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to set up the ladder here and start working on some of the small twigs and whatnot up in the gutter. At the moment, I'm standing up on the ladder, about to go on the top rung, which I know you're technically not supposed to do, but that's the only way I can see the gutter. So this is what the gutter looks like currently. It looks horrible, and this is with a gutter guard. As you can see, there is one here. It's just underneath all this crap that needs cleaned out. So that's going to be my project right now. I know I should probably be wearing gloves while I'm doing this, but honestly, one, I didn't think about it. If you think I would, but I didn't. And two, it's not really as bad up here as I thought it was going to be. Probably because there is a gutter guard on here. Look at all these acorns. Let me just show you this. So we have these little tiny acorns here, and they are everywhere in our backyard because one of our trees, and it may be both of them, but one of our trees, at least in the backyard, is an acorn tree. So they are all over the place, especially after we have any type of big storm like we've had. And it sucks. This is the front of the gutter here, and you can see how dirty it is. I mean, I could do, I don't know, I guess I could spray some Clorox or Lysol spray or something on this and wipe it off with a paper towel, but I feel like that would just be way too tedious. So my dad actually has a power washer, and I'm thinking about doing that, but at the same time, I don't know if the pressure of the power washer would like damage the gutter. So if you want to leave a comment below letting me know if I should use a power washer on this to clean this off and get it white again, or if there's some other method that I could do to clean it up, I would greatly appreciate any tips on that. Right now I'm a little bit over halfway with cleaning out this gutter on the back of our house, and I am to a point now where I am pretty much directly above our air conditioning unit, right here. So I think what I'm going to do, I obviously don't want to get debris and sticks and those mini acorns and all that in the air conditioning unit, especially since it's only a couple of years old, because unfortunately we had to get it replaced only after living here for a few months. So I think what I'm going to do is actually take a trash bag and lay it over the top, like cover the top of the unit. That way, one, nothing gets in the air conditioning unit, and two, that way I can just pull the trash bag up, kind of like inside out, and then tie it, and that way everything that falls on the bag, so it doesn't go in the AC unit, I can just seal up the bag and throw it right in the trash can. So I think that'd be the easiest way to do it. Okay, so that should work just temporarily while I'm cleaning the gutter out above the AC unit. Like I said, just so nothing gets in there. I mean, I know it's normally exposed to the elements, but if I can keep as much stuff out of it as possible, the better. Now, I thought for some reason, I don't know why, the 13-gallon trash bag would cover a little bit more than that, but at least it's covering the opening on the top, so that's really all I care about. And then, like I said, I'll just kind of fold it up when I'm done and throw it in the trash can. Looks like this trick worked. This is everything that got caught on the trash bag. So I'm just going to go ahead and carefully fold it into itself, kind of like this. A little bit like a burrito, I guess. That way none of that goes into the air conditioning unit, like that. And we'll just take it right over and throw it away. I am officially done with the gutter along the entire back side of the house. I am so glad that's done. It's been needing to be done for a while, but as I mentioned earlier in the video, we've had a couple of really bad storms the last couple of weeks, and it would just kind of be pointless for me to clean it out only to have to go up there and do it again after another storm. In fact, the storms were so bad that our phone and cable lines that are hooked here into the back of the house actually came loose and were only a few feet above the ground, and they had to come out and retighten them onto the house. And we had quite a few big branches down in the backyard, as well as several of our neighbors here. But that is done, thank gosh. And I'm unfortunately a little embarrassed to say that that is only the second time I've cleaned out the back gutter on this house since we lived here, and we've lived here close to 3.5 years. But it's done for now. I may try and do it one more time early fall, mid-fall, something like that before winter hits, just so it's not as bad next year. But it's done. That's the main objective. It's done. I will say a couple things that I've learned after doing that is, one, I probably should have worn gloves. As you can see, my hands are pretty dirty, which for about half of it, I was using my hands, which, you know, in all reality, was kind of a good idea because of all the small pieces and stuff. But then about halfway through, I kind of smartened up and decided to use a broom to push the stuff down the gutter and out into the trash can below, or what would land in the trash can, I should say. And two, it probably would have been a smart idea to wear some type of eye protective, whether it be sunglasses or goggles or whatever. I mean, I didn't get anything in my eye, but I could have very easily had a piece of debris fly in my eye, and I would have probably been done for the night. One thing I really hate about summer is bugs. Also something else, before I do this again, I will be getting a taller ladder, which it works fine on the patio here, because the patio is about probably a good 4 to 5 inches above the ground. So that gives me an extra, 4 or 5 inches to see into the gutter to see where I'm at and what still needs cleaned up. But once I got over to just the ground on the other half of the house, I had to stand pretty much on my tippy toes on the top rung of the ladder, which I know is not the safest thing in the world to do. But I will be getting a taller ladder before I do this again as well. But that project is done, thank God. Now we are going to, while I'm sitting here on the back deck, I guess I'll tell you real quick kind of an idea that Tony and I had. And then we'll move on to mowing the backyard, which is, I know, something you all wanted to watch me do. So for the back patio, we kind of had an idea. We've always kind of wanted a privacy fence. And let's be realistic, they are pretty expensive, especially if you want to do it around your entire backyard, which is what we originally wanted to do. However, we cannot afford that, so we decided to put, we would like to put a privacy fence just around the back patio here. So over here and along the concrete slab here. So what I would like to do ultimately is take this wood patio over here, which was an addition that we did not put on. I would like to take that off, and my dad and my dad had his own home improvement business for over 30 years. Have my dad and I build a new wood deck, the same length as our current deck, but it's all wood. So build it above this concrete slab and all the way to the end of the house like that is now. But then put a privacy fence just around the patio. That way we still have privacy here, but it's not costing nearly as much to do it around the entire backyard. So I was thinking of doing it from all the way along the side there to about maybe here, and then from here, the edge of the house on the deck here, to about there. And I was thinking of making the opening to it about the width of the patio doors. That way we can have a nice little sitting area over here. And I was thinking on this side, since there's not much room between these steps here and the edge of the patio, having my dad build some sort of storage section here, I guess you could say, because we have a shed out back here in our yard, and there's a hole in the roof of it. It's not a big hole, but it's a hole nonetheless. And a part of the front of the door has fallen off, not making it unable to shut or lock or anything. Well, the lock doesn't work on it as well. Honestly, I would just like to tear down the shed and build something up here, just so it's a little bit closer to the back door, because the shed is all the way in the back corner of the yard. Not that we have a huge yard or anything, but it would just be a little bit more convenient. And that, I don't know how long that shed's been here. I know there's paperwork that came with the house on when they've improved everything, and I'm sure when they bought the shed is in there, because the people that lived here before were like extremely immaculate on records, which I try to be. But yeah, so that's kind of the plan for the patio, and obviously it's not going to happen this year, but I would like it to happen like really early spring next year, so we can enjoy it all next summer long. But with that, let's get to mowing. And I'm done.